So, we're gonna start. What if Ash could understand Pokemon? Okay, and could use Aura. Let's get into the video. The sun has risen in Power Town. The Pidgey were out bright and early, chipping, letting its inhabitants know that it was morning and it was time to get up. In a room upstairs lays a boy who was about to have the most exciting adventure of his life, but doesn't know that yet. An alarm clock went off at 7:30, alerting the boy that it was time to get up and do his daily routine. Waking up with a grumble, he turned the alarm off and looked at the window with a smile. It showed 3 Pokemon eggs he had found in the forest 5 years ago. Ash was running through the forest, playing with some Pokemon he found, just sitting around looking bored out of their minds. So he asked if they wanted to play with him, which they responded with a corresponding yes. He laughed and asked them what they said they wanted to play, which surprised the little that he wanted to play hide and seek. He agreed, which surprised the little Pokemon. They asked if he could actually understand them, which he replied with a yes. That seemed to make them happy. It had been a long time since there was a human that could communicate with them. As Ash was counting down to 10, the other Pokemon was hiding quietly. He noticed 3 eggs from behind the tree that he was leaning on. Walking from behind the tree, he was able to get all of them. There was 3. One had yellow tip, with the center of it black, and the bottom of it blue. The second one was blue with white spots at the tip, with one middle and one at the bottom. The third was big. It was bigger than the others. The top was covered in grain with a red horn sticking out of it, while the bottom half was white. For some reason, he felt a pull coming from things, almost as if it were calling out to him. He touched the black and blue one and felt a surge of power surround him. It felt both calming and powerful. He felt his vision turn blue, almost as he can see things differently than what other people can see. After a while, he felt his vision return to normal, but his hair was still in the air. He picked up the 2 small eggs, but needed help with the 3rd big one. His problem was solved when one Pokemon he was playing with used Fireweb to grab the egg. He thanked the little Pokemon, and then they began to walk into his room. The Pokemon brought his egg up to his room by using the water, while Ash, using the window, setting it on the windowsill. While Ash walked through the front doors, heading upstairs to his room, and the 2 eggs next to the big one. Waving goodbye to his friend, he laid in his bed, closing his eyes with a smile on his face. Flashback end. Having finally get dressed for the day, he put the big eggs, even the big one, in his backpack and headed downstairs to begin his journey. When he made it downstairs, he was greeted by the sight of his mum, smiling at him. "Oh, look at you. You're so handsome in your training clothes. Ma!" Delia Catchin squealed happily that his son was finally starting his joke. "Mom, what are you doing so early?" Ash said, surprised that his mother was up. "I knew you'd get up so early so you could start your journey, so I set my alarm at 6:30 and waited for you," she explained. Ash sweat dropped. "That's Mom for you. Anyways, I just want to make sure you have everything ready. You do, right?" she asked. "Yep, I'm all set," he said happily. "You're almost set. Hold on." She walked into the kitchen, then came back with Pokemon food and normal food, with a little pot for Ash to make food for himself and his Pokemon if he wants. "Oh, wow! Thanks, Mom." He took the items out of her hand and out them in his backpack, putting the eggs on top of them so they wouldn't get harmed. Putting his backpack on, he headed out the door. "Bye, Mom," he said. "Goodbye, honey. Be safe on your journey." Ash was heading straight to Professor Oak's lab to get his starter and set off on his journey. When he arrived, he saw that no one else was there. It was only natural because the time for people to arrive to get their starter Pokemon was at 10 a.m. He knocked on the door, hearing someone yell, "Come in!" The person who opened the door was none other than Professor Oak. "I was wondering who was knocking at my door so early in the morning. It's nice to see you, Ash." "Sorry, Professor Oak. Were you sleeping?" he asked, wondering if he was asleep. The professor just wake up. "Not at all. You see, I'm always up early. Now then, come inside. You probably want your star Pokemon, right?" He did. Ash nodded his head. "That's right." he said, walking inside. I'm actually glad you came here early, because I have the perfect Pokemon for you, he said enthusiastically. What kind of Pokemon? He asked. Professor Oak simply laughed. You see, Ash confused but didn't question. The man simply followed the man to his lab. They walked all the way back to the lab where he saw 4 Pokemons. One had a fire symbol, the other had a water symbol on it, and the next one had a ground symbol. The last one had a thunder symbol. The Pokemon will be, but I must warn you, he doesn't exactly have a nice attitude. He released the Pokemon from the and revealed a yellow mouse with red cheeks. A Pikachu, Ash said. That's right, and as you probably know, it's an electric type Pokemon. You see, I found him chewing on some wires outside and captured him, and got shocked because of it. He laughed. Ash stared at Pikachu, and Pikachu stared back, wary of Ash, thinking he might force him into obeying him. The boy smiled and leaned down. Hi, my name's Ash, he said, gently putting her hand to her. Is it alright if I touch you? Pikachu was surprised. He came across humans before trying to force him to obey them, but this boy was different. He nodded. Yes, and allowed Ash to touch him. Ash touched Pikachu. The moment he did, he felt a strange pulse-like feeling, and thought for a split second that he saw Pikachu turn blue, but it disappeared soon after. In the short instant, he closed his eyes and found all of Pikachu's memory. He felt in mistrust, but those images soon were replaced. When he saw the Pokemon nuzzling his hand with his eyes closed, saying, Cha! Symbolizing that he liked it. Ash felt happy for Pikachu. That Pikachu was happy. The mouse hopped on his shoulder, rubbing his cheeks against Ash. The raven-head tea rubbed Ash's head. Professor, I choose Pikachu. Professor Oak wasn't surprised that Ash befriended Pikachu originally. When it comes to Pokemon, Ash always had a way with them, and loved them dearly, and they loved him back. Well then, Ash, let me just get your Pokedex and Pokeballs, and you'll be all set. He was cut off when another Pokemon appeared and grabbed Ash's pants, getting his attention. Ash looked down in shock. The Pokemon had white fur. The tuft of the fur between eyes, the color of the fur around its neck was also yellow, with a curl rising up its face. It had yellow eyes with red pupils. The tails were yellow at the base and ended with light furry caps. Its arms were white, and in yellow, its legs were yellow. Professor Oak, this Pokemon is a shiny Meowstic. You see, her trainer abandoned her because she ignored the trainer's command in battle, probably because of the lack of trust, he explained. Ash felt angry. What kind of trainer just abandons that Pokemon like that without any hesitation? This is the first time I'm seeing her interacting with someone. She must really like you, Ash. Ash was kind of surprised that her Pokemon from the college region would adopt Professor Oak, but after hearing the explanation, he didn't comment on it. He bent down and asked the same question he asked Pikachu. Is it alright if I touch you? The female shining Meowstic said yes. Without any hesitation, he pat her head and felt the same sensation he did with Pikachu, and felt emotions, which was only mistrust. But like Pikachu, he must throw away, and she began purring like the penny. Professor Oak said, Excellent now, let's get your Pokedex and Pokeballs, shall we? Right, I said. Professor Oak. Thanks so much, Professor Oak. But think nothing of it, my boy. Now go on, it's time to start your journey. Oh, I must stop. He smiled. Before you go, I have some egg incubers for you, so your eggs will be safe and warm. The professor pulled out 3 eggs incubers and gave them to Ash. Ash took the eggs out of his backpack and pulled them into the incubers and put them back in the egg. Thanks, Professor Oak. Well, I'm off, he said, running out the door with his 2 Pokemon. Be safe on your journey, Ash, and I hope you find what you're looking for, Professor said. Ash ran outside of the town, brought into his mum waiting for him. Mom, what are you doing here? He asked, having stopped running. Instead of answering his question, she indulged in a huge squeeze. Mum, can't breathe, he wheezed. She looked at me like, sorry, I'm just so proud of you. Going off on your very own journey, just like your father. Stiffened. She mentioned his father before, but every time he tried to ask, he felt like, thanks, Mum. Oh, look at me crying. I'm just really glad. I know you do it there. And Pikachu, Meowstic, please take good care of him, she said, smiling at the Pokemon. Pikachu! Pikachu said, meow, meow, Meowstic, meow. Meowstic said, I wasn't surprised when he had them speak. After all, he'd been able to understand them ever since he was little. His mother, not knowing what they said, simply patted him on the head, getting a pleasant grin from both. "Now and off you go," she said. "Right, bye, Mum. I'll be sure to contact you once I'm ready to visit the city," he said, running with his 2 Pokemon eggs. His mother waving behind him as she watched his retreating form with a smile. You can do it. I know you can."